welcome back once again. Here we are with another edition of Inside the Headset. It's week 3, game 3 is well on the horizon. It's been a fast pace, kids. I'm on the campus of Oakland High School. I got with me the head coach of the Oakland Patriots. He's 2-0, head coach, Kevin Creasy. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing good, Stork.
Man, I had the best time last Friday night, Coach. We just had a ball. We got to take the broadcast team, follow you guys up to Winchester, went into Clark County GRC. Jordan Ray, the athletic director, treated us golden. We got hooked up, got to see 48 minutes of football. I'll let you talk about it in a minute, but big thank you to you, Clark County, City of Winchester, everybody. We had a ball, and it's just what you wanted, wasn't it, Coach?
Yeah, it was a great environment, a great venue. GRC, they've got it going on now. They've got an athletic
I like how
building.
they had the underneath. They utilized the underneath.
The stadium.
The stadium.
And there were several different locker rooms, apparently a locker room for everybody that plays on that field. So we got dressed in a football building that is just off the stadium a little bit, but it's right beside of the turf softball field and the turf baseball field. And so we warmed up on the baseball field to get things rolling for that doubleheader so we could get started a little bit early. And then at halftime, we were, I think, in the girls' locker room under the bleachers. So, yeah, the facility's unbelievable. Like I said, the coaches and the AD over there are really helpful. And then, bring in 2 quality opponents and play the nightcap of the main event there on Friday. It was pretty cool.
Well, in 48 minutes of Oakland football and just we had over 2,500 viewers watching at once, and we were enjoying the broadcast. I looked down, I was blown away. I'm like, I'm on Labor Day, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't know how to turn this button back on again, but I hope I can do it again on another broadcast. But it was just, you had scoop and score, fumble recoveries, offense. Got to see the Ole Miss commit do what he does on Friday night. Got to see the UT commit do what he does. And then Mr. Justice did what he did, your special teams, PATs, field goals. It's just, when you go back over the video, you found some mistakes, but not a lot of chastising or you did this wrong or you did this wrong. It's mostly just simple mistakes you had to correct, wasn't it, Coach?
There are some mistakes, and we definitely have honed in on those this week. And, I thought offensively we should have, done a better job. We only punted once, but I thought, we could have played cleaner, too many penalties still after week 1. And then I thought special teams was a huge difference in the ball game. We blocked a punt for a touchdown. We returned a punt for a touchdown. We returned a kickoff to the 10-yard line. The defense, sack, fumble, scoop and score on defense. So we had some guys that it was pretty neat.
They showed out.
Yeah.
They wanted to play Friday night.
It was good. It was, like I said, all facets of the game were really well. And Oakland was well represented. Murfreesboro was well represented there. Had our new uniforms on.
I loved it. The big Murfreesboro word on the back end. And thank you for that. They looked really good.
And like I said, those guys played good in them. And so, had guys scoring touchdowns that normally don't score touchdowns. I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, just had a tremendous night of everybody kind of contributing.
Best thing I learned about it was right before the kickoff and before we came out to you and you told me, Stork, if you don't start that broadcast, you got about 6 minutes and we're going to put the ball in the air. And I got a quick picture and then took off. But I was visiting with some of the faculty and staff that follows you and the Oakland Patriots, athletic directors, and everybody. And the first thing I said, I was like, they wanted me to know that none of your kids are a problem in the school. They wanted me to know that, and said they were all very nice young men, and that you couldn't ask for, and that they are a great football club to have at Oakland High School. And I thought, not a lot of people know that. Yeah. Not a lot of people know that, but as a coach, you have to control them in the classroom, and they're football players, and they're representing Kevin Creasy and your brand.
Yeah, those guys, sometimes we get a bad rep. I think that's kind of always the case. A lot of times football guys get a bad rep, especially, about student athletes. What part of athlete are they? What part of student are they? But our guys have done a heck of a job in the classroom so far. We want to keep those noses clean and keep them grinding, not just on the football field and the weight room, but also in the classroom. And like I said, this is a good team to be around, a good team to be around, a good team to
That's
coach.
what they said.
And like I said, it makes it easy to come to work, on Mondays.
My first 11 years, I was down in Smyrna. I called football games. That's where I cut my teeth in '98 at Smyrna Middle School. And I called freshmen, and I called JV at Smyrna High School. And I learned a lot about football at Smyrna Youth. And a lot of people don't realize that at one time, Smyrna had over 800 youth kids participating in youth football. That was about 250 cheerleaders, and the rest was football players in young groups. And we would suit a player for, at one time I think we had 4 single C teams. We had single C white, single C purple, single C gold, because we had so many kids from Smyrna playing football. A rich tradition at Smyrna. You got great facilities. It's your next opponent. I spent a lot of time down there. Tough place to play that they're hosting. If they're on the road and they come up here, they're going to bring a tough football team. And the one thing about it is they don't quit. They're going to play. You'll hear coaches say, "Oh, they're going to play for 4 quarters." You go back to some of them old Riverdale games between Riverdale and Smyrna, some of the old Oakland Smyrna games, they're still hitting at the 4th quarter, Coach. It is the truth. This is a great matchup you got on the horizon.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Williams does a great job. He's got a good team this year. Should have beat Brentwood. Had a big win last week against Hendersonville.
Was he just right on the cusp of that Brentwood win, or what happened?
Yeah, they had it, and like I said, it was just one of those deals where it just
15, 16-year-old kids.
Last second, it was just something wild at the end. But really and truly, they have a dominant defense. Their offense has 2 quarterbacks similar to ours. Ultimately, they play our kind of football. I mean, they're going to grind it out. They're going to.
They got some goons. They got some guys on the field that keep separation.
They're going to make sure they're sound in special teams. They're well coached. We went over last week and played them in JV. Went down to the wire, 12-6 ball game. They had the ball on the 3-yard line, so they gave our JV team all they wanted. They just beat our freshman team, which, by the way, their freshmen that are, I think, juniors now, they halted our freshmen's win streak. Our freshmen have won the county championship every year except for one, and that's when Smyrna beat them a couple years ago. And now those guys are playing key roles on this team. So they're juniors now, and so our guys remember that, especially our junior class. And so, yeah, it's going to be a tough place to play at. It's tough because
thanks for that nugget.
they got a huge following, like I said, great support over there. Everybody talks about the older schools, Riverdale and Oakland being, from the No, the older school is Smyrna.
Bingo.
They've been here forever. They've been playing football in this county forever. And like I said, you look at their facilities, unbelievable. We went over there and just kind of peeked through the window at their athletic facility. Unreal, the support they got. And so they put a good product on the field, and it's going to be a region game, so it makes it that much more important.
Which just brings me to what I'm saying, Coach. If you're a fan of high school football, I see 3 really juicy games Friday night. Your contest, the one I'm going to call the Backyard Brawl, and then we've got that Rockville-Laverne game. I mean, if you're a football fan and you want to see some action for less than $10, I mean, you need to be somewhere in Rutherford County Friday night, do you not?
Absolutely. There's some good ball being
played.
Man,
there's going to be...
it's all region games.
It's all region.
Usually you don't have that week 3. But week 3, region matchup. And like I said, we hadn't played Smyrna and varsity in probably 9 years. And
not since Jacoby Stevens got that one-handed interception down there that's on, it's on Stork Vision. I was sitting right there in the end zone. He went to LSU.
Yep, not bad. And like I said, I remember we had a playoff game with them. My first year, and it was an overtime game. And just back and forth, slugfest. And I remember the referee from that game, he told me, he said, "This is the hardest hitting football game I've ever been a part of, and I've been doing it for 40 years. So it was back and forth, physical football game, back, I guess that was 10 years ago, my first year. But yeah, we had some battles with Smyrna back in the day, and now we're back in the same region with them.
Well, and this is like you just said, we do not have to tell the student body, we do not have to tell the football team that we got a big game Friday night. They already know it, and the entire county knows. They all got big games Friday night, just like you said, it's a region play.
Well, the neat part about us going to Kentucky last week, you know, it was a long bus ride, and, you know, we had a pretty good support crew coming up there, you know, and I think it was 4.5 hours, something like that. But now, from here on out till the playoffs start, every away game we have is in the county. So you don't have to leave Rutherford County. And, you know, Smyrna's right up the road. I think you can get to Smyrna High School quicker than you can Riverdale, depending on the traffic.
Just when you park there, you can't get out. That's one of the, it's a little bit like Riverdale and Oakland. Once you get welded in, you're here for a while.
Yeah, but like I said, we should have plenty of people over there for a heck of a matchup.
Dog Pound, Jeff Shipley. He'll be on the PA system. That's always a pleasure. I've known Coach Shipley for a long time. He's a very good PA announcer. He'll give you your justice. All right, kids. That's going to be Friday night down at the Dog Pound in Smyrna, Tennessee. 37167 zip code. Kickoff's at 7 o'clock. Y'all follow the Oakland Patriots and go down and watch a great football game.